Welcome to the Sicha Bamidbar Beis and Chelek Yud Beis on page 9. So this Sicha here is a very geschmacke Sicha, a Sicha on Rashi, but unlike other Rashi Sichas, or most Rashi Sichas, that discuss one particular Rashi, this Sicha, the Rebbe discusses an entire subject, a series of Rashis on the subject of the position of the Leviim in the Mishkan, or on the Beis HaMikdash, which is in this week's Parsha in Kapitel Gimel, starting with Psukim Vav and Zayin and continuing on throughout the Psukim here until Pasuk Yud Beis. So I really suggest if you're going to be learning the Sicha, grab a Chumash and have it handy, because you're going to have to keep cheshbon over here of what's going on between all the Rashis that the Rebbe will be discussing. La'achrei sipur haprotim b'dvar minyanam shel b'nei Yisrael v'seder ad golim. Following the Torah, telling us the story of the Yidden that were counted in the Midbar and the order of the way they camped in the Midbar. Mevaya kra and Yonesh Shevet Levi. The pasuk tells us what is the position of Shevet Levi, and this is what it says: Hakrev is mata Levi v'mat toisel of Aaron HaKohen. Bring Shevet Levi close and then bring them in front of Aaron. V'sher suoisei, and they should serve him. V'shomres mishmarte v'mishmeres kol ha'edah v'gaimer, which we will discuss soon. What v'shomres mishmarte means. Then the pasuk continues to elaborate on the details of what Avodah of Shevet Levi was. If you take a look at the details that it says here about Shevet Levi, we will see things that are seemingly contradictory. And other things that are not understood. And the Rebbe starts first with the Rashi on pasuk Vav. What does it say here? Ala pasuk v'sher su'aisai. When it says v'sher su'aisai, that the position of the Levium is to serve Aaron HaKohen. Pirish Rashi, so Rashi explains, Ma'u Asheris. So what is this serving? V'shomres mishmartai. What it says in the next pasuk. And what is the meaning of v'shomres mishmartai? Fish, they guard. They stand guard in the Beis HaMikdash or in the Mishkan. Fish, Shmiras HaMikdash, Olav, guarding the Beis HaMikdash is a responsibility upon Aaron HaKohen. Shaloi yikrav zar, that no one that doesn't belong, they should enter. V'alaviyim alalu Messiah naisam. The Leviim, their job is to be there as an assistance to Aaron HaKohen. Zui Asherus. This is the service that they assist Aaron in guarding the Mishkan. Ulafizeh. So now, based on this, we can say b'pashtus very simply, shepirish hatevis v'shomres mishmartai hukepshutai. The meaning of the words v'shomres mishmartai is very simple and plain. What does it mean? Melosha shmira, that the Leviim are there to guard. Shalik rav zar, that no zar should enter. Upirish hakosevhu. So the pshat on the pasuk is sheshmira zu amuteles beikar ala kayanim, that this mitzvah to guard the Mishkan, which is a responsibility primarily on the Kayanim, we now learn that it includes the Leviim as well that are there to assist the Kayanim in their job. That would be the simple flow of the pasuk. Beautiful. Then Kayanim move on. So now, the question is, so why is Rashi squeezing himself into a corner, explaining in the next pasuk ala teves v'shomres mishmartai, to explain what is the meaning of the words v'shomres mishmartai? And Rashi does not say it refers to guarding. What does Rashi say? Kol minusha adam emuna olav, any position that a person is appointed to, umuto olav la'asoiseh, and he has a responsibility to fulfill a certain position, to do what he has to there. Karui b'shmeres b'chol mikra, is referred to as a mishmeres, as a position, as a charge, as an office that he holds in all of the pasuk. Ubelashon HaMishnah and HaMishnayis as well. Kavaymar, in simple words, what's Rashi saying here? Shemishmeres kam pirush minoi. The word mishmeres here does not mean to guard, it means to appoint them to a position. V'loi pirsha kipshuto, and Rashi does not say what you would expect, melasha shmira. That over here, v'shomres mishmarte, means that they are hired, or they have to assist the Kayanim in guarding the Beis HaMikdash. Why doesn't Rashi say that? Beis, another question here is, according to what we see here in this Rashi that we just quoted regarding V'shomres Mishmarta, that Mishmeres, that it says by the Leviim, is the fact that they're appointed to a position. Why doesn't Rashi tell us this when this word of Mishmeres comes up the first time in this week's parsha? V'shamru haLeviim es Mishmeres Mishkan Eidos. So over there, Rashi should have told us what this means is that the Leviim are being appointed to their position in the Mishkan. Why does Rashi wait over until here to tell us this fact? Gimel, the third question is, Mipirish Rashi ala pasuk v'sher su'aisa. From what Rashi says regarding v'sher su'aisa, meaning Niresh, Avedas HaLeviim, we can see that what is the Aved of the Leviim, Hanamara beParshasenu, which is speaking about in this week's parasha, in Yana Siyu al Kayanim b'Shmiras HaMikdash. Kanal. The point here is, the position of the Leviim is to help the Kayanim in guarding the Beis HaMikdash. Let's go to the following pasuk in pasuk Ches. So over there it says that their position is Ves Mishmeres B'nei Yisrael. Pirish Rashi. What does the Rashi say there? Shekulan Kol B'nei Yisrael Hayizukukim L'Tzarchei HaMikdash. All Yidden would be obligated to the needs, to tend to the needs of the Beis HaMikdash. The Leviim fulfill their position in their place and as shlichus, doing the shlichus of the Yidden. Hainu meaning, Sha'avedes HaLeviim hu b'makim hu b'shlichus kol b'nei Yisrael b'tzarchei HaMikdash. The Leviim are here to do a shlichus to represent the job that all of the Yidden would have to do in the Beis HaMikdash. So what's going on over here? Is this a responsibility specifically of Aaron HaKayin, of the Kayanim, and the Leviim are there as an assistance to them, to Aaron, or is it the other way around? This is a job that really all of the Yidden would have to do. And the Leviim are here as shluchim of Klal Yisrael. So we have a pretty clear contradiction here. Dalet, another question, b'pashtus nira. Simply it would seem, shebepirushay alatevis v'smishmeres b'nei Yisrael, when Rashi explains these words, v'smishmeres b'nei Yisrael, kavanasa shel Rashi levayer, mashakosav v'shomru v'goyme v'smishmeres b'nei Yisrael, lavadas avedas ha-mishkan. Rashi wants to explain, what does this mean that they are appointed to a position to keep this position of the Yidden? What is this all about? What's the connection to the Yidden? Where do the Yidden come in when we're discussing the Aveda that has to be done in the Mishkan? And therefore, it makes sense that we're telling the Leviim that they are doing what they're doing in their position for the Yidden. What does this mean? So this is the simple pshat. Rashi comes to clarify and he tells you, really all of Klal Yisrael, it's incumbent upon them to tend to the needs of the Beis HaMikdash. The Leviim do it in their stead and their shlichus. Therefore the pasuk says that this is Mishmeres B'nei Yisrael. However, if so, it's completely not understood. Let's take a look what it says in the previous pasuk. There it also says that they're keeping guard, or that they're being, in other words, over here Rashi says it doesn't mean keeping guard. They're being appointed to the position of the entire congregation. If so, obviously, the same question comes up here. Does the entire congregation have the responsibility to do the Aveda on the Mishkan? And Rashi there should give the answer that yes, they all have to tend to the needs of the Mishkan, and the Leviim are doing it in their shlichus. Why does Rashi not explain this until he comes to the second time in Pasuk Ches, when the Pasuk spells this out? When it says Mishmeres B'nei Yisrael, here Rashi explains that it's the B'nei Yisrael that have the job. Why did he wait till here? Continuing further in Pasuk Tes, ala Pasuk Me'eis B'nei Yisrael. When it says in the Pasuk in Pasuk Tes Me'eis B'nei Yisrael, so it says there, V'nesatas Alavim la'aron u'levanov nesunim heim aloi Me'eis B'nei Yisrael. They are being given to Aaron HaKayin and his children from where? From the Yidden. Me'eis B'nei Yisrael. What's the pshat? Pirish Rashi. What does Me'eis B'nei Yisrael mean? K'mai mitoich B'nei Yisrael. It's really as if the pasuk would have said, from amongst the Yidden. Kalaima meaning, mishar kol ha'edon nivdelu, from amongst the rest of the congregation, they are being separated, lekach for this, v'gzeidas hamakim with the decree of the Eibishter. That's how Rashi explains Me'eis. Me'eis means, from where are they coming? They're coming from amongst the Yidden and they're being separated to doing their job, to being assuming their position. So the question here is, Ma hechrichoi lefarish sheme'ez b'nei Yisrael hu kimoi mitoich b'nei Yisrael. What forces Rashi to say that when it says me'ez, from the Yidden, that it means not from the Yidden, but rather it means from amongst the Yidden. V'harei, and the Rebbe will now point out over here that they're not the same. Not the same shot. V'harei lefi mashkos of Rashi lefneizer. Based on what Rashi already said before, as the Rebbe quoted. Shahaleviim ba'am tachteim b'shlichusa. That the Leviim are doing their Aveda in the Mishkan, in the place of the Yidden, as the Shlichus for the Yidden, shall call B'nai Yisrael of all the Yidden, to Spanish, Tevezu Kepshuta. When it says over here, May Eis B'nai Yisrael, the Pshat is very simple. Nisunim, Heim Eloi May Eis B'nai Yisrael. What does this mean? Min B'nai Yisrael. They are granted to Aaron HaKayin to do the Aveda in the Mishkan from the Yidden. What does that mean? Shebnei Yisrael naisnim esalavim b'tor shluchim shalahem la'avedas hamishkan. The Yidden are giving over. They are giving the Levim for this job to do in the Mishkan. That's a simple pshat. They're giving. Kolosha b'nei Yadam, as it is in the language when people speak, matana me'eis plini, a gift from so and so. Shehu hanaisin esamatana. He's the one that's giving the gift. V'loi shehinev deles mitoichai. This is very different than what Rashi says. Rashi says the pasuk is sort of identifying, they're not the people that are giving necessarily, the Yidden are not the givers of the Leviim. Rather, the pasuk is simply identifying from which place are they being separated from. They are originating from amongst Klal Yisrael, and the Eibishter is separating them to be able to do this Aveda. But not that the Yidden are giving them for this purpose. So why does Rashi say this? Why does Rashi say the Pshat me'eis in a different way? Why not in the simple Pshat? Because they are working instead of the Yidden in their shlichus, so they're being given by the Yidden to do this shlichus. Idach, the question goes even further. If you look further on in Pasuk Yud Beis, over there it says, the Eibishter says, and I took the Leviim. So over there in Pasuk Yud Beis it says, so what would be the touch of mitoich? Here the pshat, what you would think is that the Eibishter took the Leviim from amongst the Yidden. It doesn't say that the Yidden gave. It says that the Eibishter took from amongst the Yidden. The mashma b'pashtus shenivdulu mitoicham. So the simple pshat is that the Yidden are being separated from amongst the Klal Yisrael. So over here, Pirush Rashi lahepech. Here Rashi says the exact opposite. Mitoich b'nei Yisrael. What does this mean? Sheyiu Yisrael soichrin oisan l'shayna shali. The Yidden are hiring the Leviim to do the Aveda instead of them, or in their shlichus, to serve the Eibishter. Hainu, shetevas mitoich, pirusha kamoi me'es. Here Rashi says that the word mitoich means from, that the Yidden are hiring, that comes from the Yidden, and they are giving. They're hiring the Levim to do the Aveda. HaKadosh Baruch Hu lokcham me'es b'nei Yisrael, that the Eibishter took the Levim from the Yidden, the Levim are providing and hiring the Yidden to serve in the Mishkan. So it's mamash apela. Here it's the other way around. The pasuk actually uses the term mitoich. Rashi pirishai meloshe me'es. And Rashi says what it means is that the Yidden are hiring, that the Yidden are providing. Not like what it says in the pasuk mitoich, that the Eibishter is taking the Leviim from amongst the Yidden. He's bringing them from amongst the Yidden. So what's going on over here? Shaila Zayin, Mai Kavanis Rashi b'Masha Kosav Alatevois Nesunim Heimaloi. So it says in the pasuk Nesunim Heimaloi Me'ez B'nei Yisrael. So what does Rashi say there? LeEzra, that they are given to Aaron HaKayin from amongst the Yidden LeEzra as an assistance. Why does Rashi have to say this? It should be in pasuk Tes. And Asata, Salavim, Laran Levanav, Nesunim, Heim Eloi, Meis B'nei Yisrael. Okay, so what does Rashi say? What does Nesunim mean? That they are given LeEzra as an assistance. Don't we know this from what Rashi said before? The Levim are there to assist the Kainim. So Rashi said that. What does this one word come to clarify? Another question is, Lama Maitik Rashi Gamas Hatevois, Nesunim, Heima Loi. Why does Rashi have to clarify the words Nesunim Heima? Why does he bring that from the pasuk? V'haloi l'mefarish rak mashmuusa shal tevas loi. The only thing that Rashi explains is the meaning of the word loi That what does it mean to him? Le'ezra, to him as an assistance. But it's not necessary for Rashi to quote from the pasuk the words Nesunim Heima. Shayla test. The last and final question of the Rebbe here is Lahalon beParshas Ba Lois Chala pasuk Ki Nesunim Heima Limitoich Bnei Yisrael. It says a similar thing there that the Leviim are Nesunim from amongst the Yidden. Bir Rashi es Hatam lekefal haloshen. There Rashi explains the double loshen. Nesunim means Nesunim lemasa. They are granted to carry the Mishkan. And Nesunim l'shir. And they're also granted to do their work to sing in the Mesa Mikdash. Lama like Pirish Zeh b'pasuk shebeParshas Seinu shehiya kedemes. Why does Rashi not explain this in the pasuk in this week's parsha, which comes to be earlier? Shegam bainam Nesunim. Here as well it says the double pasuk, the double lashon, Nesunim heimaloi, and Rashi doesn't say anything about that. Okay, so we have in all 9 questions here, and the basic gist of all these questions is that the pasuk is saying a lot of different details about what the Leviim do, and Rashi keeps on speaking up, but he doesn't make matters any simpler. Rashi just seems to be complicating matters and creating a contradiction here. How do we define the position of the Leviim? Are they there to serve the Kainim? Are they doing a shlichus for Klal Yisrael? Are they being brought from amongst Klal Yisrael, being separated from Klal Yisrael? Is Klal Yisrael hiring them? And on. The questions that the Rebbe asked over here. So we need to clarify what's going on. So the Rebbe begins by first pointing out an obvious wonder that there is over here in these psukim. One pasuk is repeated a second time right after the pasuk before. After the pasuk says in pasuk Zayin, right? What does it say? That they keep their position, they do their heart to their position for the entire congregation to work in the Mishkan. Miyad ba pasuk sheni. So comes pasuk Ches, mamish. The pasuk repeats the same content. And then they will do their position, they will keep their position, and the position that's from all the Yidden that hired them to do their work in the Mishkan. Basically, repetition of the same idea. There's just a difference in the style and the choice of words regarding what exactly it is that they're appointed to. Instead of saying es mishmartai, so kasav sheni, it spells out as kol kli oil moed. That refers to all the kalim, all the vessels of the oil moed. Other than that, it seems to be very, very similar. So why is the pasuk mamish repeating the same thing, one pasuk after the next? Zayin and Ches. Shadal Kain. So this is the basis over here of everything. This is now the key and the point that Rashi takes out of this. Mistaver loymar. It would logically make sense to say shaksuvim ma'irikam b'shnei sugi avodas Leviim b'mishkan. There are 2 different categories in the avodah that the Leviim do in the Mishkan. V'shneim he mishmeres b'nei Yisrael. Both of them, the pasuk describes as mishmeres b'nei Yisrael. But based on the fact, based on our understanding, in our approach, that there are 2 different categories to the avodah of the Leviim, we can answer all the questions, all the contradictions that we asked before, as the Rebbe will elaborate and explain. So the explanation goes as follows. So here, the Rebbe is going to actually introduce what are the actual avodas of the Leviim in the Beis HaMikdash. So far, what we've mentioned before is guarding, standing guard in the Mishkan. The Rebbe brought from Rashi in Parshas Ba'al Loischa that they have to also carry the Mishkan. They also have to sing in the Mishkan, shir. But if you actually take a look in the psukim of this week's parsha, it's very interesting. Even though there's a whole number of psukim here that's discussing the position of the Leviim, the Torah itself right over here does not spell out clearly what exactly the position they're being hired to is, especially according to Rashi that says that V'shomres Mishmarti does not mean guarding. It just means that they're appointed to their position to assist Aaron HaKohen. But what exactly that is, the pasuk doesn't spell out. Doesn't mention the guarding, doesn't mention the singing, it doesn't mention the carrying, or any other avodah that they do in the Mishkan. Nothing is mentioned. So there are, but we do clearly see that there are 2 categories that the pasuk is spelling out in general terms, the 2 categories of the avodah of the Leviim in the Mishkan, and we're going to have to define exactly what those 2 categories are and what they entail. And as we'll see in the Likkutei Sichos, there are other places in Torah, whether in Parshas Baloischa or in Parshas Kairach, where the Torah spells out specifically the Avodah of what the Leviim consisted of. In this week's Parsha, seemingly, the Torah comes just to tell us in general terms that they are unique and special, different than the rest of Bnei Yisrael. They're being appointed to a special position, and the Torah spells out in general terms what are the two categories of their job that they're appointed to. Well, let's see inside. So, Ubir Inyan, Avodas, HaLeviim, B'Mishkan, Mischalekes, Lepratim Shonim. We look at the Avodah of the Leviim in the Mishkan. You can divide it in different details. There's Avodas HaPiruk, the Avodah that they had to dismantle the Mishkan when they traveled, Hamasa, carrying it, Va'akoma, and then erecting the Mishkan, Avodas HaShir, they were singing in the Mishkan, Avodas HaShmira, and then the Avodah of guarding the Mishkan, Shalei Kanezar B'Mishkan, which according to Pshutei Shel Mikra, is in order to make sure that no one that doesn't belong doesn't enter. So those are in total the Avodas that we see in different places in Torah that the Leviim had to do in the Mishkan. So now, we can divide it, we could divide this into two general categories. Aleph, one category is the Avodas that the Leviim did in the Beis HaMikdash or in the Mishkan in the positive sense or in the active sense. They are actually doing something, participating in the Avodah in the Mishkan. There are specific things that have to get done in the Mishkan that is upon them. It's their responsibility to take care of them. Jobs that pertain to the actual things in the Mishkan itself. That's one category of the position of the Leviim in the Mishkan. Beis, another category, their Avodah in the Mishkan, which is expressed only in sort of a negative way, meaning they're put in this position just not that they're actually actively and positively doing something within the Mishkan, within the vessels or something in the Mishkan, but they're just there to stand guard, to protect, that no one that doesn't belong should enter. But it's not in the Mishkan itself. Rather, it's just to prevent that Yidden that don't belong should not enter into the Mishkan. So this is sort of an Avodah Shlilis in the negative, in other words, to negate that one that doesn't belong shouldn't enter. And as the Rebbe points out in Order 16, there were other managerial positions that they had, which was also just about keeping order and making sure that things are in place, but it wasn't about an actual positive Avodah that was upon them to do. Just sort of to keep things that they shouldn't fall apart and things should stay in place. And over here also, the Shmira, that people that don't belong, not there to disturb, should stay out. Those are the two general categories. And as we clearly see this later on in Parshas Baloischa, I believe it is, or perhaps it's in Kairach, Vayomer Bnei Yisrael, it's in Kairach actually, Vayomer Bnei Yisrael, Kol HaKarev al Mishkan Hashem, Yumas. Whoever, that the Yidden said, whoever comes close to Mishkan Hashem will die. Yidden complained that if we're not allowed to enter, and Yidden are always coming to the Mishkan to bring karbanis, and if they may enter in a place that they're not allowed, and then they're chayiv misa. Shezui tainas b'nei Yisrael, asher einon yichaydim liyazihirim b'kach. This is the taina that Yidden has. We can't be careful with this. So as an answer to this, the command of the Eibusher says, you're going to be your responsibility, Aaron and his children. And also your brothers from the Shevet Levi. They accompany you and they serve you in this capacity to do the Shmira that Yidden shouldn't enter. The Kohanim, together with the help of the Leviim, are there to make sure that the Yidden shouldn't enter. So those are the two categories we have in the Avodah of the Leviim in the Mishkan. The positive and active role that they played in certain areas of the Mishkan, and then their role in managerial positions or in guarding positions to negate what didn't belong and things should be in order. That's the second category. The difference now between these two categories is the specific position that they had that pertained to a specific area in the Beis HaMikdash or in the Mishkan that they had to do their Avodah there. This is their job. That was not as an assistance to the Kohanim. The Kohanim have their area in the Mishkan to take care of, and the Leviim had their specific area in the Mishkan that they had to have their avodah there. We do find later that it is the Kohanim's job to establish the Leviim to be each person on their job, but it's the avodah of the Leviim. That is their position. This also includes the avodah of the singing and the musical instruments that the Leviim played in the Mishkan. This is their job. This is their avodah that they did in the Mishkan. They're not doing it as a shlichus for the Kohanim. The Kohanim have their area that they do their avodah, and the Leviim have their area. That's regarding the inyan chiyuvi, the active role that they played in the Mishkan. It's not the case though. When it comes to the Shmirah in the Mishkan, the guarding of the Mishkan, as we clearly saw in the pasuk, it's Aaron and his children that are appointed and are responsible for this. And the Leviim are here only to assist Aaron and his children in this job. So over here, in the second category, in the Oifen Shlili, this is not something that the Eibush is giving them directly. This is their part in the Mishkan. Over here, they're only there as an assistance to Aaron HaKohen and his children. So now we have very clear the two categories, and now the Rebbe will show us in the Psukim where these two categories fit in very, very beautifully. The parasha here comes to clarify in general terms what the avodah of the Leviim is. Move on. So if this is what their avodah entails in these two general categories, we must say that in the pasuk here, in the psukim here, that is, it includes these two general categories. Zeu shapirish Rashi ala pasuk. And now we'll see it clearly in how Rashi teaches these psukim. Let's begin from pasuk Zayin or Vav Zayin. See, here we're talking about the Leviim being there as an assistance and to serve Aaron HaKohen. And they are appointed to a position which is Mishmar Toi, the Mishmeres of Aaron HaKohen. So Harei Muchach, right here in this first category, it's clear here we're talking about the category of the avodah of the Leviim as an assistance to the Kohanim. This refers to the Shmirah. As the Rebbe brought before from Parshas Kairach, the Shmirah was the mitzvah and the responsibility of the Kohanim. And regarding the Shmirah, the Leviim are just there as an assistance to the Kohanim. That you and your father's house are the ones that carry this responsibility for the Mikdash. And that pasuk you clearly see, really it's the chayva of the Kohanim, b'siyua halavim. And in this category, the Leviim are here just as an assistance to the Kohanim. B'meila move on. Now based on this we will understand. Shema shekasav es mishmeres kol ha'eda. When the pasuk says that they're guarding here kol ha'eda, what does this mean? Yesh lefarish b'pashtus. The pshat is very simple. Hashmire hashayeches v'neigas l'chol ha'eda. This is a position that they have which is relevant and important for all of Klal Yisrael. How is it important for all of Klal Yisrael? Simple. The whole point of this Shmirah is that no one of Klal Yisrael should enter. So therefore Rashi doesn't have to clarify anything about Kol Ha'eda. That was one of the questions that I've asked before. Why doesn't Rashi clarify what Kol Ha'eda means over here? It seems like in the pasuk that their job they're doing is for the Yidden, and a moment ago we said that they're doing this as an assistance for Aaron HaKohen. The answer is very simple. Of course they're doing this as an assistance for Aaron HaKohen, but the point of the job that they're doing is guarding the Mishkan is to keep the Yidden out. So the work is relevant and important for Kol Ha'eda. Now the pasuk repeats again and says, so the fact that it's repeating this again, it's clear that it's not repeating the same avodah of Shmirah. Rather, it's clear now the pasuk addresses the general second category of the avodah of the Leviim in the Mishkan, which is their specific area that they worked in the Mishkan, not as an assistance to the Kohanim, but their area that the Eibusher gives them to work. This could also be seen clearly in the fact that the pasuk spells out Kol Kli Oyel Moed. Mashma Shezui Aveda Hamuchuvenes Likkutei Hamishkan. This is an Aveda that pertains to the actual Kalim in the Mishkan. This is the area that the Levim are appointed to. In this pasuk, there's no hint to the fact that this area of the Levim's work is being done as an assistance to the Kainim. So therefore, it simply follows to say that what this is referring to is Lamasa Kalim, carrying all the Kalim, carrying the Mishkan, Olishir, and also to the song and the musical instruments that they played in the Mishkan. So now, how do we know this, even though the pasuk doesn't spell out the details here? We don't find any other Aveda that the Levim do in the Mishkan besides the guarding of the Mishkan, which was already mentioned before. But other than that, what else is there besides the carrying and the songs that they sang in the Mishkan? So therefore, in this second category, where the Torah is clarifying that there's another category which is the actual position that the Levim had for themselves, their area in the Mishkan, not as an assistance to the Kohen. What does this refer to? To the Masa and the Shir, to carrying the Kalim and to the song and the singing in the Mishkan. And now let's continue in this pasuk. When it says Ves Mishmeres B'nei Yisrael, Ein Le'Pirish, what's the pshat? Where do Yidden come into this Aveda, which is a responsibility that lies specifically on the Levim? This is the area of the Mishkan that the Eibishter gave specifically to the Levim to tend to. What's the connection to the Yidden? Here Rashi has to explain. Before, when it said Kol Eida, talking about guarding the Mishkan, the point of the guarding is to keep the Yidden out. So they're guarding for the purpose of Yidden, because the Yidden complain that they're afraid that they're going to enter. So over there, it doesn't need a pshat. Rashi didn't say anything. Here, the second time around, when it says Ves Mishmeres B'nei Yisrael, where it talks about the position that the Levim have in their area in the Mishkan, the Masa and the Shir, what connection is there to Yidden to this? Omavaya Rashi, so therefore here Rashi has to explain. Shapirishu, that the pshat is, really all Yidden should be tending to the needs of the Mikdash. The Levim are appointed to this in their stead. The active role that the Levim played in their area of the Mikdash, really, this is an area of the Mikdash that lies upon all of Klal Yisrael. So that they're doing it as a shlichus for the rest of Klal Yisrael. That's what Rashi clarifies over here. Since this is a chiddush, because we're talking over here about that area that belongs to the Levim. So Rashi's mechadish that the pshat of Meis B'nei Yisrael is that no, they're only doing it as a shlichus for Klal Yisrael. Rashi brings a proof to this from what it says later. That this is a reward for the Levim and for the fact that they are taking the Yidden's place for the Avodah that the Yidden should have done. Hainu, so that talks over there about in the pasuk later, the Nigeya to the halacha of B'chayr, Petach Hamar, which pasuk is later, Kalika B'chayr B'Makaisi. I believe that's where it is later on. Yeah. Okay, so this is a schar for the Levim. I believe I may be making a mistake. Okay, Akapanim, it says later clearly that the Levim deserve a schar for taking the place of the Yidden. Hainu shahamaisa shebnei Yisrael meistem lahalavim hu schar avedasam shem oivdim tmuras b'shlichas b'nei Yisrael. That here we clearly see that the Levim deserve that is a reward for doing the aveda in the shlichas of Klal Yisrael. So we have already the outline over here. The repetition of the two psukim, it's not a repetition. In the first pasuk, it's talking about the category where they are assisting Aaron HaKohen, and in the second pasuk, it's talking about their own position that they had, and we now see that there was their own position, not as assisting anybody else, but they were doing it as a shlichus for Klal Yisrael. Now the Rebbe continues to explain the V'shomru es mishmartai. One of the Rebbe's questions was, why does Rashi not explain V'shomru es mishmartai in the simple pshat that it refers to guarding? And rather, Rashi says it means they're appointed to a position. Now, Second time around, when the Torah says V'shomres mishmartoi, where the Torah is speaking not about the guarding, it's speaking about the position of the Leviim, their area in the Mishkan, which refers to the carrying of the Mishkan or the singing in the Mishkan. Over here you can't say that it refers to guarding. Here when the Torah says V'shomres mishmartoi, it's not referring to guarding at all. Their area that they tended to the Tzarchei HaMikdash. No guarding over here. So here, the second time around, the Torah says V'shomres mishmartoi, we're going to be forced to say that the meaning of this terminology is appointing to a position. That the Yidden have to fill the position, they're appointed to fill the position, b'shlichus of the Yidden. That has to be the pshat. It does not refer to guarding. Now, if so, in the pasuk before, where it is talking about guarding, but the Torah uses the exact same expression, the exact same terminology, the word mishmeres. So now, mistaver, it logically makes sense to say shigam sham hu melashon minui, that there as well it does not mean guarding, rather it means appointed to a position. They're appointed to a position to guard the entire congregation, that they shouldn't enter into the mikdash. Looking at that pasuk, if you isolate that pasuk alone, since there it is talking about guarding, I would say that it's talking about guarding. Shmeres means guarding. Kanal. That's what the pasuk speaks about. But once I see that the pasuk says the exact same word, the same expression in the next pasuk, and there it does not mean guarding, it's not talking about guarding, there it has to mean the position that they're appointed to. So it doesn't make sense that two psukim, one right after the other, uses the exact same word and it has two completely different meanings. Both of these psukim follow one after the next, so if in the second time it's mentioned, it must be they're appointed to a position, that's the taich of the word, so the first time it's mentioned, it probably means the same as well. So Rashi clarifies that it doesn't mean guarding, rather it means appointed to a position. To negate what you would think the simple pshat is, that over here the word shmira would mean guarding. It doesn't make sense to teach the word here differently than the word, this very same word that appears in the next pasuk. So therefore over here, Rashi says we're going to be forced to say that mishmeres in both of these psukim means the position they are appointed to, and not guarding. However, the position in the first pasuk and the position they're appointed to in the second pasuk is very different, as the Rebbe already explained. It's two different categories. In the first pasuk, it's talking about the position of guarding as an assistance to Aaron HaKohen. In the second pasuk, it's talking about their position that the Eibusher gave them, their area in the Mishkan, to do b'shlichus of Klal Yisrael. Oh, lachen. Now going back to an earlier time in this week's parsha, in the end of Kapitel Aleph, ala pasuk v'shomru alevim es mishmeres mishkan ha'edus. Over there, ain't Rashi mefarish klum. Rashi says nothing. That was one of the questions of the Rebbe. Why doesn't the Rashi say there anything? Kisham ein shum hechrich leitzia meloshen shmira. There's nothing forcing us to take the word shmira out of its simple pshat. Mishmeres means guarding. And that's what the pasuk is talking about over there. That there won't be any anger upon Yidden. But if there won't be this mishmeres, which means strangers will enter into this aveda, if there will be anger. So we're talking there about guarding the Mishkan. So over there, there's nothing stopping us. There's no reason why not to touch the word mishmeres in the simple pshat, that it means to guard the Mishkan. But when it comes over here in Kapitel Gimel, in the Psukim Vav and Zayin, so over here we are actually Psukim Zayin and Ches, that is. So over here we are forced to say that Mishmeres has a different shot. Because the Torah repeats the Mishmeres twice, we're forced to say that both of the mishmeres have the same shot, which means a position that they're appointed to and not the guarding. That's why Rashi clarifies this there and not earlier on. Beautiful. The Rebbe goes weiter to elaborate here and show us, in the words of Rashi, the two categories of the work of the Leviim in the Mishkan. Now, Lefizeh, going on later on in the pasuk, so this is in pasuk tes. Mashakasav lekamon v'nesato salavim la'aron lovanov nesunim heimeloi me'es b'nei Yisrael. So what's the pshat of this? Let's read the pasuk now. Now that we see, we're looking with the lenses of the Sikha that the Rebbe illuminated for us. Which category of the Avodah of the Leviim is the pasuk talking about? Aidi be'inyi shmiras hamikdash. It must be talking about that category of them guarding the mikdash. She'ein Leviim shluchei b'nei Yisrael b'avidasa. Yidden are not the shluchim of Yidden in this work. And that's what it says here. That they're there, they're appointed as an assistance for Aaron and his children. So we're talking about their guarding, which is as an assistance to Aaron HaKohen, as we explained before. So when the pasuk continues and says Me'ez b'nei Yisrael, now here Rashi has a problem. How can we explain Me'ez b'nei Yisrael means that it's the Yidden that are giving, Yidden that are providing or appointing the Levium to this job in their shlichus? They're not appointing. This is where the Levium are being appointed to be as an assistance to Aaron HaKohen. Aaron HaKohen and his children have the responsibility to guard the Mishkan, and the Levium are appointed to assist them in that. Not that the Yidden are the ones that have this job and they are appointing the Levium as shluchim. That's not this category at all. As we clearly see from the beginning of the pasuk where it says le'aron ulevanov. So if so, what does the pasuk mean when it says me'es b'nei Yisrael, from the Yidden? So you can't say it means simply from the Yidden. She'oisam nasnu b'nei Yisrael b'to shluchim kanal, that it would mean that the Levium appointed them as shluchim in their stead. This is not the case. So now we'll move on. Now we could understand very geschmack what Rashi has to clarify here. When it says me'ez, since we're talking about the category where the Levium are there to assist the Kohanim, the Yidden are not providing and appointing them as shluchim, so me'ez does not mean from the Yidden. Rather, it means that they come from amongst the Yidden. They are being separated from amongst the Yidden. From amongst the Yidden, they're being separated for this job. The Torah is simply identifying from where they came and from where they're being separated from. But not that they are being granted, they're being provided from the Yidden. We're talking about the category that they are la'aron lovanov. They're doing their avodah of shmirah that has nothing to do with the Yidden. Now going to Pasuk Yud Beis, where the Torah says, and I took the Levium from amongst the Yidden, tachas kol b'choid, hainu, meaning, lekichas ha-Levium ba'ifin yoshar mitoich b'nei Yisrael. Here the pasuk is saying that the Levium are being taken. Where are they being taken from? They're being taken from directly from amongst the Yidden. V'loi shenilkechu ha-koyanim v'achakach tzarfu aleim es ha-Levium. The pasuk does not say that the Kohanim are the main ones appointed to this job, and then the Levium are just being combined and added as a secondary, as an assistance to the Kohanim. That's not what the pasuk says. The pasuk is focusing on the Levium alone, not mentioning a word about the Kohanim. The Levium are being taken from amongst Yidden. So which category are we talking about over here? Over here we're talking about the category of the Levium's own Avodah, not as an assistance to the Kohanim. The Avodah, their area in the Mishkan, that they were appointed to Ba'ifin Chiyuvi, their active role that they played in their area of the Mishkan. And what's the pshat over here? What is their position over here, their active role that they played in their area? So L'chein Pirish Rashi, Sheyiu Yisrael, Seich L'moisel L'sheiris Shali. That it's the Yidden that hire and appoint the Levium to do this job. Hainu Shemitoich Hu B'muvan Me'es. Over here, Rashi tells us that the pshat of mitoich has to be me'es, not simply that they are brought from amongst. The Torah is identifying from where they come. No, over here the Torah is actually saying that the Yidden hire them. They're coming from the Yidden. Because it's clear from the beginning of the pasuk that we're not talking about the category of the Avodah of the Levium as an assistance to the Kohanim. We're talking about the category of their Avodah that's separate, that's their own area in the Mishkan. And as we already clarified before, this is something that they do as a shlichus for Klal Yisrael. So over here, when the pasuk says mitoich b'nei Yisrael, Rashi has to clarify that the meaning of mitoich means from the Yidden, that the Yidden hire them. That's this category of their avodah. Frat, looking more closely in this pasuk here, Rasha pasuk zeu bascholas parsha chadasha. Pasuk Yud Beis begins a new parsha. there's a pay over here. There's a separation between what it said before and after, meaning, concluding the previous parsha where it says, where over there it primarily spoke about their assistance to Aaron HaKohen. So it's clear if it's a new parsha that we're interrupting from what we said before, and we're beginning a new subject. The Eibush says, and I directly take the Leviim. This is not a continuation to what it said before, that they are there together as an assistance, as a complementary to the Kohanim. It's not a continuation. For the Shmiras HaMikdash. That was before. We were focusing primarily on the Aveda of the Kohanim, where the Leviim are just assisting them. Ella rather, here we're talking about the unique Aveda that was designated for the Leviim. They fill their purpose, their area in the Mishkan that was provided for them. So now we can see the words of Rashi, the Kra. If we pay attention here, we'll see beautifully how Rashi takes this from the way it sounds, from the wording of the pasuk itself. Va'ani hine lakachti. What does Rashi say? Va'ani, the Eibishter himself. Mehechon zechisi bohen. From where have I been zeicha? From where am I taking these Leviim? What is the pasuk emphasizing here? Shekavanas akosov lizchusay shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'Leviim. This is the fact that the Eibishter has the merit, so to speak. The Eibishter brings the Leviim. V'zeh masem avodas atzma b'Mishkan. This is where the Leviim stand out as a category for themselves, where the Eibishter himself takes them and gives them this schus to do their avodah, not as a secondary complementary to help the Kohanim with their avodah. That's what the pasuk is talking about. Shakol kula hi sheiris sheli shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is an Aveda where they serve the Eibishter, their area of serving the Eibishter in the Mishkan. This is not where they just serve as an assistance for the Shmira in the Mishkan, which is just a Dava Shlili to negate, to keep the Yidden out. And there they're only serving the Kohen and not serving directly the Eibishter. This is not their area which is designated just for them to serve the Eibishter directly. So from the beginning of the pasuk where it says Va'ani hine lakachti, Rashi understands that over here we're talking about the second category where the Leviim are being appointed to their own position in the Mishkan, their own area, unique to them, serving the Eibishter directly, not as an assistance to Aaron in the Mishkan. So Perish Rashi mitoich b'nei Yisrael. So therefore, when Rashi teaches the words mitoich b'nei Yisrael, although it uses the word mitoich, Rashi says sheyi Yisrael seichrin oisan l'sheidah shali. This is where Yidden are hiring the Leviim to serve directly the Eibishter. The Mikiv Shema Loshen Va'ani hine lakachti es Leviim. Pasuk begins with the stressing of the Va'ani. Mashma shekoi b'avodasam ha'ikris b'mishkan. Here we're referring to the main avodah of the Leviim in the Mishkan, what they do directly themselves, not as an assistance to the Kohanim. V'akos of Mevayer. From where does the Eibishter get the Kohanim? The pasuk is not simply saying the location where they're being separated from. Over here the pasuk explains also this itself. That when it says mitoich b'nei Yisrael, the pasuk is actually telling you that this is the category of the Aved of the Leviim, that they are being hired to do the job that the Yidden should be doing it. They're doing the shlichus of the Yidden in this area of the Mishkan. That's the pshat of mitoich over here. So we can see how the Rebbe beautifully answered his questions. When the first time when it said me'es, since we were talking about that category of the Aved of the Leviim, where they're not being appointed from Klal Yisrael, they're doing their job as an assistant to the Kohanim. So Rashi says the me'es there is just saying from where they came from, but not that they're being appointed by the Yidden. When we talk about the other category of their Aveda, their specific area that the Eibishter designated for them, that they do as a shlichus for the Yidden, here mitoich b'nei Yisrael has to be as a shlichus for Klal Yisrael. Okay, now that Rebbe comes back to the last point, which he did not answer yet, Nesunim. So Rashi says in Pasuk Tes, Nesunim means le'ezra, as an assistant. So the Rebbe's question was, why does Rashi have to say this? Al pizeh moving gam kain, sheba Pasuk v'nasatos, alaviyim la'aron u'levanov, Nesunim v'gaimer. in this pasuk where it said that they are given to Aaron Levanov. What does this mean? Here it's impossible to say that the double lashon of Nesunim would be Nesunim Lashir, Nesunim Lamasa, that they're being given for the purpose of singing and for the purpose of carrying, like Rashi says later in Parashas Baloischa. Because of, since here it clearly says Shemairi Bavidasam Ashayachas La'aron Avonov. Here the Torah clearly says we're talking about that category of their Aveda as an assistance to Aaron Avonov. That refers to the Aveda that they did guarding the Mikdash. So, if so, if it's only talking about that one Aveda of Shmireh that they did as an assistance to Aaron HaKohen, so there is no two things. So why does the pasuk say a double lashon? So we're going to have to say Sha'keifel Nesunim Nesunim, the double lashon of Nesunim Nesunim, Hu Lechizuk Ulahadgasha Se'inyan. It's just to strengthen and emphasize the point that they're there to help Aaron HaKohen. Okay, in Ha'arat 23, the Rebbe brings another example for this. Be'erois chomer, where the Torah repeats one word twice for extra emphasis. So the same thing over here as well. Or perhaps you could say, because the fact is they do have a certain independence, their own area in the Mishkan that they have to tend to, so the Torah wants to emphasize that the Leviim should remember, while you have your own area and your own independence in the Mishkan, but as far as the Shmir is concerned, don't forget, over here you're supposed to be subservient and secondary to the Kainim and follow their orders and do what they tell you. So the Torah emphasizes it twice. Rashi comes along and explains that Nesunim means as an assistance. Why didn't Rashi clarify this right in the beginning of the pasuk when it says "V'nasato as Levim" that you're being given to you should give the Levim le'ezra as an assistance? Why didn't Rashi explain it right over there? Ki iker kavanas Rashi bezeh. The main purpose of Rashi here, Rashi is not coming to explain primarily what the Nesina is for. El taretz eich yasim be'inyin shmiras hamikdash me'eis shlichus b'nei Yisrael. How could this be a shlichus of the Yidden? In this area where the Leviim were there to assist the Kohanim, to assist them, to help them, it's not connected. They're not being appointed by Klal Yisrael, as the Rebbe explained before in the Sikha. So, what category we're talking about over here in the pasuk? That we're talking about the Shmireh. That you could understand from the pashtus of the pasuk, because it says La'aron Levanov, and we know La'aron Levanov refers to the Shmireh. But what's bothering Rashi is the pasuk starts off with La'aron Levanov and concludes with Nesunim Heimalei Me'ez B'nei Yisrael. How does Me'ez B'nei Yisrael come in here? That's the main thing that's bothering Rashi. So Rashi is sort of clarifying Nesunim Heimalei Me'ez B'nei Yisrael, that although the pasuk says Me'ez B'nei Yisrael, Nesunim Heima, they're given Le'ezra really to help the Koyanim, but it's also Me'ez B'nei Yisrael. These two things could be combined together. That's what Rashi is really coming to say. Obeys diburei amaschal boim behem shechecha. The two Rashis really are one continuation. They're not two separate Rashis. Oishet tzarich li is diburei amaschal echa. That really should be one diburei amaschal, the Rebbe says. Nesunim heima loy le'ezra. The Yidden are granted to Aaron HaKohen in this Aved of Shmireh to assist him. Me'ez b'nei Yisrael. It says Me'ez b'nei Yisrael, which doesn't really fit in here. So Rashi clarifies right away. Kumay mitoich. Over here, Me'ez does not mean that they were appointed from the Yidden, but it just means that they were separated from amongst the Yidden. So Rashi is adding that word le'ezra simply to explain the flow of the pasuk. Nesunim heimaloi le'ezra, but it's still Me'ez b'nei Yisrael. Take, it's an assistance for Aaron HaKohen, but at the same time it's also mitoich b'nei Yisrael. That's the way you read this Rashi. And therefore Rashi was maitik the words Nesunim heima together with the loy, because Rashi is not just coming to clarify what the word loy means. We know what the word loy means. Rashi is coming to clarify the flow of the pasuk, the two opposites. And Rashi says at the same time when they're le'ezra to the Kohanim, it could also say Me'ez b'nei Yisrael, not meaning that the Yidden appointed them, but that they were separated from amongst the Yidden for this position to be as an assistance to the Kohanim. That's the flow of the pasuk here. Okay, so this is the conclusion of the pshat of Rashi over here in this parsha, where we see in all these psukim, the Rebbe showed us so beautifully and clearly that the Torah is discussing the two general areas of the Aveda of the Leviim, the Aveda that they do as an assistance to the Kohanim, and the Aveda that they do in their own area, that they play an active role that the Eibishter gave them, and that's as a shlichus from Bnei Yisrael. And all the details that the Rebbe explained there beautifully. A lesson that we can take from all of this. Kaisav Rambam, the Rambam says in the end of Hilchos Shmita v'Yovel, V'loi Shevet Levi bilvad. It's not Shevet Levi alone that is appointed to this position. Ela kol ish v'ish mikol boy olam. Any person that is in this world. Asher nodva rucha yosai, which his spirit, he has a commitment of his spirit. Vehevinoi madoi, and has the conviction of his mind. Lihibadl, lamed lifnei Hashem, to separate and to stand in front of the Eibishter, l'sharsai u'la'oivdoi, to serve him and to work for him. Harei an eskadesh kodesh kadoshim v'chulu. Every Yid could reach this position and even become holy kodesh kadoshim. That's the Rambam. Now, based on this Rambam, Harei efshi yale bedas mishahu. So someone might think as follows: Shemikivin sha'adayin lo yigil adargazu shom nodva rucha yisai vehevinei madoi. The Rambam sort of sets a certain criteria. You have to have the commitment of your spirit. You have to have the conviction of your mind. And a person says to himself, I don't have that spirit. I don't have that conviction. So then, ein hu b'chlal mishiyachal eskadesh uliyas b'pchinas levi b'avedus Hashem. So I can't be on the level of a Levi to serve the Eibishter on such a level to be an eskadesh kodesh kadoshim. That's if you look at the Rambam. And in its simple, superficial sense. But here comes the lesson from Rashi that's written even for Ben Chomesh Lemikra, meaning that this is a lesson even for an individual that may be an adult, but he's in his Avedis Hashem, a beginner like a child, 5-year-old child. All Yidden really have to tend to the needs and are responsible to do this Aved in the Mishkan Mikdash of the Leviim. The Leviim are doing it instead of the Yidden as a shlichus for the Yidden, but really this is something that's shaykh to every single Yid. So now if the Leviim are doing this as a shlichus, what's the cloud by shlichus? A mishaleach. Could he appoint somebody to do something that he himself can't do? The halacha by shlichus is that if you yourself don't have the ability to do it, you can't appoint a shliach to do that. Right? Because a mishaleach could only appoint and empower a shliach what he himself could do. Is there anything that we could say that we Yidden can't do? And they, the Kainim or the Leviim, will be our shluchim and they could do it and we can't do it? That's not a shlichus. Shlichus doesn't apply to something where the Mishaleach, in this case being all the Klal Yisrael, can't do. So therefore it logically follows that bevadai shekol echad ve'echad kulon, every single Yid shayach lavedas alevim, does have the ability to do this shlichus, to separate and to be fully dedicated to serve the Eibishter. To fulfill a shlichus in this world, to fulfill a shlichus in this world, making this world below a dwelling for the Eibishter.